Let's go.
Cook Up Academy.
I know you want it, you looking for it. I know who got it. She talk about it in every EP, leave you island. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't nobody ever be on what she be on. This is LOL with QuiQui Symone. Life out loud. So can we please get a round of applause? You are now rocking with the best. Sit back and take notes. What you get drenched on the rainy days? What is an app for that? Like umbrella, sit back and take quote. Wait, I'm in cover. She mashed potato, her toppings, and just like gravy on top of it. Every topping she cover. I mean, it's QuiQui Symone, so when Kiki come on, you should listen. She different from any other. Ask Mike Ups, I bet he say it's not a nail nutter. Like what you need, I bet she got it for you. Check the catalog, like well, oh well. Whether it's life out loud or you just need a laugh, it's LOL. Yeah, with QuiQui Symone, please leave me alone when the show come on. Don't touch that dial, lower your tone. I know you want it, you looking for it. I know who got it. She talk about it in every EP, leave you island. Don't nobody ever be on what she be on. This is LOL with QuiQui Symone. Life out loud.
Did you miss me?
What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the Life Out Loud, or LOL with QuiQui Symone. I am your girl, QuiQui Symone, and I am excited for you to even be with us today. I'm a little nervous too. I'll just say that. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited that you're here with us today, and I want to welcome you to the Life Out Loud podcast with QuiQui Symone. Here, where we talk about a lot of transparent, real life things, solutions. We even have some of those solutions. But first, before I even get into anything, I want to first thank all of my LOLers for coming to this episode. And I also want to encourage those who are not LOLers just yet. I want y'all to go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can become an LOLer, and then go a little step further and hit that notification bell. All right. So without further ado, okay, y'all, I know I'm getting into this like really quickly, and I'm probably getting into it because I'm super nervous and excited at the same time. You all have seen me several weeks now, and even way back when, back to the old seasons of the LOL with QuiQui Symone, where I've talked about, here we're transparent. We're gonna be giving you the tea. We're gonna be telling you all about us and stuff like that from way back in the day, and even as of late, right? But this particular episode is really, I guess I'm not using the right word. Scary probably shouldn't be my right word, but that's the only word I could think of right now, because it is. So without further ado, we're going to get into our pink elephant, which is our hot topic of the day. And our hot topic of the day is called Be You. Be you. Be you. Yes, you. You be you. I'm going to be me. You be you, and I'm going to be me, okay? So I know that really sounds cliche. Many times we've heard people talk about, just be yourself. Just make sure that, you're doing what makes you happy. You're really kind of feeding, your own flesh, and it kind of somewhat gives you the permission to kind of do whatever it is that you want to do. But then also there's another side to it where people will say, go ahead and be you. And it just simply means that you don't have to be like other people. Like you're not a carbon copy of another person. And so the reason why I say that this is a really scary topic for me is because for a very long time, I have not been myself. Okay. Y'all might not have believed that, but I mean, I know that you all have seen like many episodes. I've done Facebook Lives, I've done Instagram Lives, and not to say that I was being phony or anything like that, but really just kind of being yourself. And one of the things that I can definitely say when it comes to being yourself and being you is, first of all, really identifying who is that person, right? It can be a very scary thing, as you're growing up, you're learning about, what's out in the world, what's out in culture, and you're learning about, oh, do I like this? Do I like that? Do I not like this? Do I not like that? All my friends over here, they really like this right here. And so does that mean I have to like this right here? There's so many choices and decisions that actually come with really discovering who you are. And it can be a scary thing because, you just don't want to make the wrong decision. You don't want to not pick the right thing to like or not like. You want to make sure that, you're doing something that, that you enjoy. But you also kind of want to make sure that it doesn't rattle any feathers either. So I'm going to be extremely, when I tell y'all extremely transparent today because I really think that it can help someone because it's really helping me too. So I'm going to be very, very transparent. There was a couple of years ago that I wrote, or I attempted, should I say, or I began starting to write this book that I really thought that, I was like, hey, I'm going to write this book because there's so much in me that I believe that the world or people would be able to really benefit from. But I stopped, right? I stopped writing that book. And the book topic was really about something very similar to this. And I have shared before on other podcasts that what I did was I wore a mask, right? I wore a mask, and that mask really kind of hid. If I could just, show y'all with my fingers and my hands, like the mask, what a mask does is it hides, right? It hides you from people. It can protect you from things, right? Because people may not know exactly who you are. It also can not be such a great thing because you're not being your authentic self. And I really, really struggled, and at times, even to this day, still struggle with who I am and the voice that I have. And I can confidently say that I do know that I'm a child of God. I can confidently say that I know that I am fearfully and wonderfully made according to scriptures. So, we can hear that and we can know that, but really discovering who is that person that God really created you to be. Do you even know who that man or that woman is deep down inside? Or do you have any types of traumas that really have prevented you from being able to be who you really are destined to be, who you're purposed to be? And I can definitely say that just being vulnerable, like in my earlier childhood years, I was a yes girl. And I really definitely said yes to everything, right? Because I didn't want to let people down, whether I agreed with it or not, except for stuff like, doing harm to people or, doing something that was illegal. That really wasn't my thing. But what I really came to find is that I didn't know my value. I didn't know the value that I really possessed. I really didn't have an identity. I really didn't really know how to really say, you know what, Kiki, you know what, you probably shouldn't do this, but I know everybody else is doing this, but you probably shouldn't do this. And I really struggled with my identity. Now, growing up in school, I was, known as the little short, light-skinned girl with long hair. That was me. That was my description everywhere I went. Like, oh, that's the little light-skinned chick. She got long hair and that's it, right? That was my description. That's what people knew me by. And at a certain age, I just kind of adapted to that, right? That's all I knew myself to be. Did I think I was a good person? Yes, I thought I was a good person, especially because I did what people wanted me to do. And people weren't getting mad at me all the time. People weren't, upset at me. So I tried to kind of stay clear of any confrontation. I tried to stay clear from, any disagreements, arguments with people. That was what I did because I was so much of that yes girl that I didn't know how to say no. I didn't even know or even understand what my value was or the value that I have to offer or bring to other people. And so what that did was it just created this girl or this individual who actually just kept bringing things on top of things, on top of things, on top of things. And what I mean by that is I was just a person that was all the way at the bottom, right? I'm all the way at the bottom. But I'm being and putting on these layers of things that people want me to be. I'm putting on these layers of meeting the expectations of other people. I'm putting on the layers of not wanting to, frazzle people or get people upset. So whatever you ask me to do, I'm going to do it. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it. If I saw any glimpse of, disappointment, if I saw any glimpse of, someone just didn't agree with me, I would get straight real quick and be like, okay, what is it you want me to do? Okay, I'll make sure I'll do that. I was really the yes girl. This really, for me, has been a detriment because it's hard coming out of being that yes girl, right? It's really hard to be able to go from being a yes girl to even saying the word no. No was a very difficult word for me to say. But I'm such an extremist, y'all, okay? So I'm an extremist. I'm a person who, if I'm going to be all the way to the right, I'm going to be all the way to the right. If I'm going to be all the way to the left, I'm going to be all the way to the left. There was no middle ground. There was no gray. So if I'm going to tell you yes, I'm going to tell you yes. But if I'm going to tell you no, you can best believe I ain't going to have nothing to do with nothing else you got going on. And I began using that no a lot. And it got to the point to where people who were even really close to me was like, wait a minute, Kiki. I know you could tell other people no, but you can't tell me no. Like, I'm your girl. I'm your home girl. Like, we been here through some stuff. Like, I shouldn't get the no. And what I did was I just made no be no for everybody. I didn't really kind of understand how to have that balance because as I'm saying no, at this point, I'm trying to discover who I am. I'm trying to discover who Kiki is. I'm trying to find my voice. And in addition to trying to do that, other things that I would do, as some of you may know, I've done management for Christian hip hop artists. I've partnered with other people to support them in their endeavors, in their organizations. I would be everywhere, right? I would be all over the place. And what I came to find is that as I'm being there for everybody else and I'm, I'm beginning to say no, but I've also learned that the roles that I've taken on also contributed to me not having a voice and not being able to really understand my identity, right? So when I say that, I'm always behind the scenes, right? I'm always behind the scenes. I was either planning an event, or I was helping someone else plan an event, or I was the manager. So I'm just the person that literally writes out contracts and does phone calls and emails. I'm the behind the scenes girl, right? Still no voice. Still no voice. Still trying to figure out what's my voice. Like, okay, at some point, God is going to say, okay, Kiki, you come to the front, you come to the forefront. And even when I started this podcast, coming to the forefront was very difficult for me, extremely difficult for me. Coming to the forefront by myself, even just this, has been difficult for me. For you all, it may not even seem like it's difficult, but for me, it definitely has been difficult because it's all eyes on me. Now that the cameras are on, okay, Kiki, what you got to say? What you gonna say to me? Are you gonna say something that's gonna make me feel like, oh, I wanna be, go out and do something really great and awesome? Or are you gonna say something that's gonna challenge me? With like everything, all the pressure is on me, right? In which, of course, is my podcast. It should be, right? But being vulnerable and letting you all know that sometimes it's difficult to be that person in the front and still learning yourself and learning your voice. And when issues arise, something just happened this past week, and I was really struggling, y'all, right? I was really struggling with trying to figure out, well, what's my position on this? What thoughts should I have? And in my mind, that's how my mind has always processed. What thoughts should I have? Not, Kiki, like, what do you think? And it is what it is. Now, do you need to change your thoughts? Sometimes you might need to change your thought process. But how are you able to just say, this is my voice? I see that this is going on and this is what I think, and I'm okay with whether or not someone agrees with it or not. So I think it was a few days ago, maybe about a week or so ago, some of you may have seen the Grammys that came on, and there was a lot of, talk about, Christians that are saying, this particular group, Maverick City, should not have done this. Kirk Franklin should not have done this. And then there's people that's just like, okay, why aren't we able to pray for Beyonce? Why aren't we able to pray for people in the world? Why aren't we able to do certain things? And in my spirit, I just got a heaviness. And the heaviness came from seeing brothers and sisters in the faith really quarreling and not really seeking how to go about having a disagreement, with their brother or sister in Christ. And so what ends up happening is I was struggling with, like, Kiki, what are you supposed to think? Like, should Maverick City have same background for Quavo? Should they have even participated in the Grammys? Should they even be there? Like, should Christians go to the Grammys? Like, all of those things. And I was thinking, and so I was having a conversation with my husband, and he was just like, he was giving me his thoughts, and I'm not going to share his thoughts. But I'm going to share you what he advised me. And that was, he advised me, he gave me perspective, right? And I'm always a person of perspective. And when I think about, just being able to have a conversation with my husband about something, it made me realize that, Lakita, you still don't have a voice. You still don't know what your voice is. you still need to be able to formulate an opinion of something if something doesn't sit right with you, and be okay with whether or not someone agrees with it or not. And it was in that moment that I realized, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to find this voice? I got to get it together because I got a podcast. And I got to be able to say something that people are going to want to hear and things of that nature. But then a couple of days later, like, the Lord really showed me, like, all you need to do is just be you. Be you. Don't try to be the person that you are at work. Don't try to be the person, that, you have to be a certain way for individuals. Just be you. And I think that once I really finally got that revelation that I need to learn to accept the things that I like, accept myself for who I am, accept myself for, eat my quirkiness and things of that nature, in which I do. But sometimes I shy away if I think that people are not going to like it, or they won't accept me because I'm not a certain way. I don't look a certain way, or I don't have enough money to be in this echelon, or whatever the case may be. And I'm starting really to begin to really accept me for who I am, but I'm also beginning to have my voice, right? I'm beginning to be okay with not being understood. And I look at celebrities and I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's a lot that they have going on, and they get criticized so much. You can do one thing and people are going to have something to say. I mean, the Super Bowl just happened, and Rihanna did the Super Bowl halftime, and people were upset that she didn't move enough. Then people were mad that trying to figure out, like, oh my gosh, is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? Then people were trying to find out, like, there's been way better, shows, or she should have brought this person out to come do a song with her. It was always something. People are never happy with who you proclaim that you are, or even you just being you. People are going to have something to say. And I think that I am just now coming to the realization that I have to be able to speak and use my voice with this platform that I have to be able to speak. And I want us to challenge one another. I want to challenge you as a LOLer, as a future LOLer. I want to challenge you to be able to take a chance on yourself. Take a chance to see, hey, is it so bad if I am myself? I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I have flaws, but is it okay for me to take a chance on myself and just authentically be who I am? And if I need to tweak some stuff, because God is saying this is not what he wants me to do or how he wants me to be, then by all means, I'm going to do that. And you should too. But it's okay for us to take a chance on ourselves to be who we are supposed to be. We can never be who God has called us to be if we're wearing the mask. We can never be who God has called us to be if we are being a yes girl or a yes man. We can never be who God has called us to be if we are not authentically, truly identifying and understanding who we are, whose we are, and the power that we have with our voice. So I want to challenge everyone this week. Go ahead and be yourself. Be who God has called you to be. And I'm not saying it to be yourself and go wild out and just do whatever it is you want to do. I'm saying be who God has called you to be. Because it's a lot of people, this day and age, people say, oh yeah, go be you, be you. And being you sometimes can be disrespectful. I'm not saying be disrespectful. I'm not saying to do something that's going to cause other people harm or intentionally antagonize others. I'm saying Be your authentic self that God has created you to be on this earth. Be that value. Bring the value to someone else's life. Bring that value to your own life. And be okay with who God has created you to be. All right? So that is our pink elephant. I want to thank every single person that has tuned in. And if you are being yourself, I just kind of want to share this, just kind of mine just now. If you are being yourself, spread the love, spread that with other people. And when I say that, help others learn to discover who they are, who they've been called to be. So, all right, everybody, that's who I am. There's no, I'm all stuffy and stiff and all that good stuff. Like, no, y'all gonna see a whole different girl. And I don't know if y'all ready for her, but she coming. And this voice is gonna be here. And get ready for the voice, okay? Until next time, I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful evening. Also, I want y'all to go ahead and make sure that you're following us on Instagram. That's LOL with QuiQui Symone. Follow us on YouTube, of course. And you can follow us on Facebook, LOL with QuiQui Symone. That's QuiQuiSymone. And until next time, holla.